Do you think you and Sierra will ever live apart anytime soon? In the back of my head, I would like to date at some point. I guess I don't need these. Probably. Ugh, but they're so cute. This will be not my best look ever probably, but I just don't want to spend any more money. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Sierra. And I'm Megan. We just reversed that. It's like the first time I've ever said that. Yeah. For today's video, Megan and I are going to be packing and also doing a little bit of a Q&A. We're heading to... since we did a Q&A. Yes. So we are heading to San Diego tomorrow for a bachelorette trip. We are so excited. I know, I'm like, I can't believe that we're going on a little vacation. It doesn't feel like it, but... So we thought it'd be fun. We did like a pack Q&A thing like a couple years ago. And I had fun doing it, so we thought we would do it here for round two. Megan and I are going to take turns with the camera, showing you guys some of the stuff that we're pulling for this little vacation. It's only a short, like, 4-day trip, so we saved some money. We are bringing one carry-on, and we have, like, a personal item. So, yeah, let's gather our things. Alright, we are going to go ahead and start packing, and then Megan's going to pull up some questions for us to answer, and we'll hopefully fit everything in this carry-on. So, one of the things, since we probably want to show you everything, but for the Bachelorette trip specifically, the bride requested that one of the nights we do like a sparkly theme, and I think you need to help me cut the bottom off at least, and then maybe some of the neckline to match better. This was a process of trying to figure out, like, so basically, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on like something. Everyone's wearing black sparkly, or like not like a white sparkly, technically, because the bride will be wearing like a white sparkly look. So even I looked at my closet and I found like my champagne dress, and I was like, oh, this kind of works. It's shimmery. I was like, this is literally white. This is not acceptable. So I'm planning on wearing this. I low-key just will probably wear like a black swimsuit top underneath it, and then Megan has a black skirt that I'm planning on wearing. This will be not my best look ever probably, but I just don't want to spend any more money. So I have my black exercise dress, and Sierra thought she was going to wear this at first. It's basically just like you wear that over. It's basically like something. Just black sparkle in a dress. And I tried it on, and I think with some modifications to better suit this dress shape, it'll look fine. And then I've got some black heels to wear. This is the bridal gift that I'm bringing. First question is, do you plan to stay in Iowa forever? And I feel like this was like definitely talked about a lot between like us and our cousin when we went back to Wisconsin. Not back to. We were just there for our wedding. And like his family is kind of like moving all over the place. He's from Iowa, but they've been in Wisconsin. He's talking about after college he's gonna move to North or South Carolina. And when we were just kind of like saying like had really no plans of like moving out of Iowa, I think like that just like confused his brain. To me, like, I love traveling places, do not get me wrong, but I feel best on a day-to-day basis when I'm around family, and like my whole family's not going to pick up and move somewhere, so I just feel best staying where I'm at, and I feel very comfortable in Des Moines. Des Moines is very homey, I can get around easy. It's a big enough city for me to feel like comfortable in, but also like there's a good amount to do, and you know, not to say there's other cities that like wouldn't be more fun, quote unquote, but I just know on a day-to-day basis, like, I think I do best here. I really don't see myself leaving Des Moines either. Like, I'm not against it, especially if I were to meet someone and, like, they would, like, want to move somewhere. I'm not opposed, but like Megan said, family is so important to me, and we are so lucky to have pretty much our entire family here. I could totally see people who, like, whose family's spread out anyways, how they're like, it doesn't matter where I live, because I'm going to have to travel anyways. But for us, it's like I can get to any family member in like 15 minutes. We went to our grandma's for, like, just to hang out and have dinner. Like, just on a weekday. It's just nice to be able to do that. Swimsuits are up first. We were required to have at least one black swimsuit. I'm still kind of like, I probably don't need all of these, so I need to pick. I mean, actually, I'm not bringing that many. I need to pick a black one. I'm obsessed with my new Dippin' Daisies swimsuit that I got. And then this one's like a nice tried and true. I think this is from Princess Polly. White Box. Just like a string triangle bikini. I'm gonna do a Dippin' Daisies one. Oh no, the battery. is exhausted. That's a new one.
Apologies for the change in camera. Our other one just died, so now you're on our G7X. What swimsuits do you have, or you should throw them all in already?
They're in there.
Dippin' Daisies. What else you got? Nash
Frankie's?
Swim?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorting stuff out. I brought
It's
more.
like you pull everything out, and then you're like, okay, now we'll decide.
That's in the I'm not packing it pile.
Got my tried and true jean shorts. I need to get another pair, honestly. I have to like wash these
are the ones I always wear, but since like I don't know if I'm gonna like sweat through these and they're gonna be gross, I do technically have another pair of Abercrombie shorts, so I'm gonna bring them. But I don't wear these as much just because like they're more ripped and I prefer them without rips.
But these, the dad short from Abercrombie, so good. Do I still have? Did I keep those mom jean shorts? Because I don't remember like. I haven't seen them, I feel like, in a while, but I also don't think I returned them. This is kind of a physical therapy related one. Someone said, do you prefer exercise or manual therapy? I am hardcore exercise therapy 100%. For sure.
I totally value that manual therapy is appropriate and it's like an option for pain reduction. And sometimes like it's a necessary precursor to exercise. But I also think like you can do a lot of active things to still help alleviate pain and reduce. And
you don't want to get too like into, especially like within our setting, since like if you start doing manual, then you're like, oh, like this is all that I want to do, you know. One thing I have noticed though, because like when I'm adding in for, like if I'm evaluating someone and then I have to add treatment codes, I'm now always adding manual because I used to not always add it. And there would be a time where it's like, I wish that I would have added it
I basically always
beforehand.
Add, like, anything I might need.
And then I'm like, shoot, and I have to go back and add it. You guys might not know what I'm saying. But it's a pain in the butt if I don't add more than I need to. So I add it in. I rarely use it. I'm always using, like, we're doing gait training. We're doing exercise. We're doing therapeutic activities. Those are the big codes that I use.
Okay, tops that I am bringing. I'm a basic tank top gal, always. Got this one from Zara. This is like my new fave. I bought it before I went to Vegas, and like I just really like the shape of this top.
More basic tanks.
So, and it's tan, so it's different. And then I also have a
what's supposed to be
white tank top that's a little blue tinted now from Abercrombie.
I have for my tank tops this top. I think is from Dreamers by Debut. I think I might have gotten it online at Dillard's or something, but it's got like that crisscross neckline. And I'm also packing, I just got this when I was at Victoria's Secret today. It's from Pink.
I knew you had my smoothies bra.
And it's just like a basic black tank top. It's weird because it has like a shelf bra, which is kind of interesting. But I thought it'd be like, I could do this as like an active, loungy type shirt, or I could put it with jeans and I feel like it'd be okay. I did get like this in white as well that I'm going to return because it was like so obviously see-through and you could see the shelf bra. So I will be returning that one. But
I also am packing this top, which I have had a little reason to wear, but I thought maybe paired with like this skirt could be cute. We'll see.
Why not?
This is also from Abercrombie. This top is from Princess Polly.
I need more tops. Like for this trip, it doesn't probably matter. Like,
you know what I was also thinking? Because we have, technically the Bachelorette party starts as we're recording this, but we're showing up a day late. It just worked out better flight-wise. Like it was significantly cheaper and non-stop to go in a day late, leave a day late. And so then we also get just like a day on our own.
A day. It's like half day.
So I don't know. I don't know what they have for stores in San Diego, but they've got to have more options than we have here. So I'm low-key kind of like,
save some room.
Shopping. Next question. Do you think you and Sierra will ever live apart anytime soon?
Soon?
No. Considering we like just bought a house together, and also like, I know when we first bought this house, Sierra and I like had like a whole tangent where you could go get like a more in-depth answer.
Well, 'cause people are like, what if you get married next month? Then what? And I'm like, you guys have an unrealistic expectation of what my life looks like.
Like we don't want to live alone. We prefer, like, we're always together. It's easiest to like live together, and then also like, you know, we got to buy a house because we chose to live together. And so we do not plan on honestly moving out until I'm sure one of us is like in a serious relationship.
And like planning on like moving in with their significant other, because like why else would we need to?
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at, and that's not in the forecast anytime soon.
And we are very pleased with our current living situation. That was my yellow button-up tank, an essential for a beach trip.
Another question, favorite thriller. I honestly need to get better at reading thrillers, but I always feel like I just have such like, I really want like a just giant plot twist, and so and I honestly am not on, like, thriller book talk. Usually I just, like, see romance-related books. But it still has to be Silent Patient for me. Like, that is still by far my favorite thriller that I've read. Because,
that's definitely, like, the one
twist.
where I've had, like, the, oh my god, biggest plot twist.
Yeah.
And it honestly probably does lend itself to the fact that it was one of the first thrillers that we read. So maybe if you're also someone who reads and you read thrillers, like, the first thriller that you read is like, oh, that's my top thriller, because you don't really expect anything, I feel like. Other good plot twists. I read Rock, Paper, Scissors, and I thought that was, like, a pretty good twist, where it was, like, one of those moments where I was like, shoot, I need to, like, reread the book, like, knowing what I know now. Because that will have to go in, like, half of this. So we need to account for that.
So, there's 2 questions right next to each other. One is, what's your favorite vacation spot? And then one was, like, a bucket list vacation spot. So, my favorite vacation spot that I've ever been to is Hawaii. Technically, I've been twice. I think, because we've been to Oahu and Maui, both were great for different things, but, like, I gotta give it to Oahu probably. Just, like, there's more to do there. There's, like, the more famous spots, and I had a blast. Dream vacation spot?
Italy. All over Italy.
Yeah, mostly Italy. Because I really just want my, like, summer European vacation vibe.
My favorite vacation spot would either be Zermatt or Oahu. Do you guys ever get so confused and it takes so much labor and energy to figure out how to pair your shoes up like this? Like, I'm like, okay, I fit, no. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, there. Megan, that has to go somewhere.
Okay, so you get the whole suitcase
Yeah,
for your shoes.
basically. Maybe that could fit in my backpack. Oh, shoot, what about Burt's?
True.
Maybe I'll
See,
have
I'm like, I don't need these. I don't need these.
I guess I don't need these. Probably. Ugh. But they're so cute. This will go in my backpack. This will go in my backpack. This is, I mean, I've seen like a couple like dating questions, but I'm actually going to use it to refer you to our podcast.
It was such a good episode, though.
But someone said, how is the life/work balance going? Have you been able to incorporate dating into your life? Megan and I just did a whole entire, almost hour-long podcast episode talking about
how we've been
the state of our dating
recently.
life. We should have called it that. The state of our dating life.
Can always
But
update
whatever.
it.
I'm not going to. So if you want the whole rundown, I mean, short answer, nothing's going on.
But we like have some thoughtful conversation in that episode that expand. Basically, we have a goal where like we're each gonna have at least one date before our birthday, hopefully, which is in like a month. So
Which also, I have like some side note conversations about. I mean, like it's only a few comments, and it's not even people being rude or whatever, like related to like our podcast going up. I was looking at YouTube comments, and it's some people being like, well, like you shouldn't have to like put too much effort. Like don't try too hard today. And I'm like, trust me, it's been 24 years of not really trying that hard.
So,
like, and it's more so, like, or people are like, don't force anything, and I'm like, well, I don't think our conversation was about forcing anything. It's about,
trust me, I'm not forcing anything.
Having a
if I don't
genuine,
like someone or I'm not clicking with someone, like, I'm not forcing it. I'm happily stepping away.
but I think it's annoying when people say, like, oh, if you talk about
Everyone
dating
has a different
at all,
approach. So, like,
but you know how some people are like, oh, if you talk about dating at all, then, like, you're trying
and someone
too
who,
hard.
like, it's so easy for them to, like, they are always in a relationship, so, like, no offense, but you're kind of like, what weight do you have?
Yeah.
Like, you're always dating someone, but, like, at what cost?
Like, for us, we don't date, like, hardly ever. There's gotta be some sort of strategy, because I'm, like, just doing my own thing, knowing in the back of my head, I would like to date at some point, you know? So you have to be more thoughtful on the forefront to then just, like, let things happen serendipitously on the back end.
Current read. I'm currently reading
20 Years Later by Charlie
Donnelly. And it's going well so far.
I am reading Red Queen. I don't know who the author of that is.
Kristen Nygaard?
It's going okay. Not really, like, too far into it. Probably, like, 40 or 50 pages in. But it's funny because it's got, like, reds and silvers, and I just read Red Rising, which also has, like, reds and golds and whoever else.
It's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, not nearly as confusing as Red Rising. Favorite movie or series you've watched recently? You know what might be, like, interesting? Because we've seen Barbie, we've seen Oppenheimer, but you know, like, what weirdly recently is, like, my favorite movie that we've seen?
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train. It was just, like, I mean, Barbie and Oppenheimer, the expectations were up here.
I think I liked both movies. Like, I will say, I liked both movies. And I loved the hype around it, but I do think with the expectation being, like, so high.
Sky high.
For both of them, like, I don't know if they quite met my expectations.
Yeah. Like, good movies. Will I ever see either of them again? I don't know if I will. But Bullet Train, I had, like, no expectations. And I was just like, wow, I like surprisingly like this.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a new series lately to give a comment on that one.
Me either.
I was gonna try watching Peaky Blinders.
The thing I've been watching most recently, well, I watched Quarterback on Netflix, which I really enjoyed. I think everyone who's watched it has really enjoyed it, so I would recommend it if you're at all into sports or the NFL. And then I really like stupid little series about like renovation stuff. So Hack My Home, honestly kind of annoying, but I just like watching it to see the little transformations that they do. So that's been a fun one as well.
I'm surprised. You know how The Summer I Turned Pretty season 2 is out? I'm surprised I haven't watched it yet.
I
was just like background,
but I also
turn it on.
Like, I was so cringed out by the first one. I keep seeing little things about the second one that like also cringed me out a lot. So I just don't know if I like want to watch it. Alright, someone asked, are you interested in specializing in a certain area of PT? At the moment, no.
Well, you could do like geriatrics.
Maybe
at some point, if you felt like it would enhance, if you want to stay like skilled and stuff.
Yeah.
Or doing long-term care.
I just don't know like how much of a certification, like it's not going to help you pay-wise really.
Yeah.
And so
it could help you with learning.
That could just be any CEU though.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, again, it would probably be a while. I could see doing either some sort of geriatrics or neuro if I were to like change settings and be like have more of a neuro population that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Someone asked, how is working full-time going? Honestly, since we had the experience of doing full-time clinicals for however many months that was last year, 7 months or something, I mean, it's nothing like groundbreaking. It's definitely the biggest change for me has been going from having a clinical instructor to be like, here, this is what you're doing, or like maybe they'll take like a patient here or there to kind of ease your burden a little bit, and that's like, you are the therapist, like you gotta do everything.
I will say, like I don't feel like I've got it all figured out. I work full time. I work 30 to 35 hours usually a week, which I'm not complaining. I will say like I feel less stressed now overall than like when I was a student, because like you always
as a student you're like, what am I doing wrong, what am I doing wrong?
Even if you've got like a great relationship with your CI, I feel like you're always just kind of
on like, edge, what would they do? Like, think that they might be judging you because of what you're doing, and they're not judging you, but like that's just how you feel when someone is observing you,
and you're kind of like, well, they've done this differently, blah blah, versus like now it's like for better or worse, like I'm on my own, and so like I get to make the decisions of like, this is what I need, this is what I want to figure out, and sometimes you're kind of like, I wish I would have like done this with them or done this differently, but you live and you learn. And I also feel like at least something that I like now, because outpatient ortho in some ways I feel like you're more apt to like take it home with you, even if it's kind of like the very typical setting that a lot of people go into. I always know like during my clinicals I would have to like know my patients for the next day, write them down ahead of time, and then kind of like I'd want to like plan out what I wanted to do with them the next day, just because like
it's more specific.
You gotta be specific, you gotta be intentional, you want to be progressing them appropriately. And in skilled care, a lot of it is just like I need them to do like said activity, said functional task, and so I get to like leave work at work and I don't come home and think about it. And versus like during my clinicals, there'd be times where I'm like sitting at my computer typing up my ideas, and it wouldn't take like all night. I'm just saying it was like I didn't feel like I fully left work at work.
Things are going pretty well, especially like since I've gotten more help at my job too. If you guys were watching like our week in life when I first started, I was like, oh my god, because I was the only physical therapist there. Now I've got a PRN assistant, then we've got another full-time physical therapist, and so I'm feeling less stressed out. And it's like nice when you have those visits where you're like, maybe I do know what I'm doing. And then sometimes you get an evaluation and you're like, what was that?
This is a hard question, but since Haley asked, I kind of feel obligated. She said, what is your fave memory? I feel like here's what I'll say. I'll share a little story, because like I always feel like fave memory could imply like it's really stuck out to me. The memory has stayed with me from childhood. And so we've always been really good friends with Maggie as well as cousins. And so growing up, we did many things together.
Not only are you my cousin, but you're my friend.
Do you know what I'm going to talk about?
No.
Castle Park.
Oh.
This was just like such a... I won't drag it on too long. When we were at our mom's old house when we were growing up, it was close to a park in the neighborhood, and it was called Castle Park. And nearby the park...
We called it that.
Yeah. Nearby the park was like a wooded area, and there's also like a little stream that ran through it. And so we were playing a game of sorts where we were just like...
We were cleaning up the outdoors.
You know, sweeping the dirt, blah, blah, blah. and we got to like a part where it could not have been that dramatic, but like this was...
It was like the end of the world when we were experiencing it.
There was it started slanting up.
Yeah,
so
that
there's
like this creek running through, and then the hills are like going up on either side of the creek.
So now there's like
I don't know,
kind
4 or
of
5
ledges
feet
between the dirt and like the bottom of the stream, and then there's a log that went across it. And so we were kind of like, let's cross the log. And so one of us ran through and was kind of like, oh my god, that was kind of sketchy. And then I don't fully know who like went when, but like the other side was just like complete complete mud. It must have rained, and so someone like was running through, and then like
I'm the one that lost my shoe.
And so
then I like picked my foot up and my shoe like had stuck in the mud, and I was like, my shoe! And so I don't know if I picked it out or if you or Maggie picked it out, and then I didn't want to go back across the log. I think I was afraid of going back that way. So I like go up, trudge through the mud to get up on the other side out of the woods.
I just remember walking back being like, oh my
And I thought we were
God.
going to get in trouble, and so we tried to like clean off my shoes at the side of the house with the hose. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then I think Mom was like, why are your shoes on the side of the house? I mean, we told her at some point, but yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would say my favorite memory. I feel like I just always have fond memories of like thinking about going to the lake every summer, especially when it was more of like an ordeal where it's like we would be like, oh, like let's go to the lake. Our mom would be like, we're going to the lake this week, and like we have this set week, and our family would usually all go up at like the same time, and like that doesn't really happen that much anymore. It just had. So it was like Grandma and Grandpa are here, Jerry and Maggie are here, we're here, everyone's there. And I was like, everyone was at the lake for like a week straight. And now it's like, 2 people will be here. 1 person will be there. So I like when it was like, we had that week. Usually around the 4th of July. Okay, that's going to be it for the questions we're going to answer. We're honestly going to probably finish packing tomorrow morning. So we have things that we need to continue getting at Target or something before our flight. But that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know if you want to see other videos like this, whether it's a Q&A or just like a sit-down chatty type of video.
If you have any specific vlogs or like parts of our day that you want us to be like a little bit better about vlogging,
or like I have seen people wanting more like physical therapy content, and while Megan and I can't vlog at work or like share too much, if you have any like specific ideas, maybe we can work something out to give the people what they want.
Otherwise, we will see you guys next week. Bye.